Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of High Energy Keto Girl. And today's guest is the awesome Audrey House. She is a client of mine, and Audrey is also the dean of students and a teacher for a very small rural pre-K to sixth grade school in the Oklahoma Panhandle. In her spare time, she volunteers for the Boy Scouts of America and travels around on the scouting program, having a great time with the kids. Audrey has achieved incredible results on the ketogenic diet and working with me as a coach, and I cannot wait for you to hear her story. So let's go say hi to Audrey. Hey everyone, welcome to High Energy Keto Girl, a podcast helping women to age stronger because it is never too late to get fit, be strong, and feel sexy. I'm your host, Tracy Gluhite, health coach and personal trainer and founder of highenergygirl.com. Each week, we will either have a guest interview, which will provide you encouragement or an actionable tip to help you age stronger, or I will do a solo episode. Please also join our awesome Facebook group called High Energy Girls, and I'm looking forward to see you on the inside of that group and hope you enjoy today's show. Hey everyone, this is Tracy, and I have a special announcement. In order for me to help more women age stronger, I have created a 90-day one-on-one coaching program. And the goal here is to teach women over 50 how to age stronger while burning fat and boosting energy without going hungry or living in the gym. If you'd like more information, please hit me up at tracy@highenergygirl.com or friend me on Facebook and send me a message. I have a goal of transforming 1,000 women in the next year, and I hope you are one of them. Hey, Audrey, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you are so amazing, and I actually think I may have had a dream about you last night, which we'll talk about later. So for the listeners that don't know you, I seriously do. I don't know if it was real life or it was a dream, so I'll have to figure that out. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Audrey? You know, your little story.
Okay, so been a scouter for forever, and back in December, you somehow showed up on my Facebook, which I think is a godsend, and at about the same time, maybe even the same exact week, I'm the scoutmaster of a girls troop for the BSA, and the girl, we were talking at the meeting about, what high adventure base do we want to go to? And I was trying to convince them to do something really fun, like go to sea base, which doesn't require a whole lot of physical endurance. I mean, it does, but not the same as, taking a trek at high elevations and, thinking things like that. And they're like, who wants to go to sea base? Let's go to Belmont. And I'm like, oh, this is a bad deal. I don't meet the requirements. And so it's kind of a wake-up call. So I did your 5-day challenge and lost at least 3 pounds that week, if not maybe even a few more. And it's been great.
So what was the qualification to go on this hike that they set the bar so high for?
I believe I had to weigh 208, be under 208 pounds, I believe, something close to there.
Okay. And what were you when you found that out?
I was 215 at that moment.
Oh, so you just had to lose 7 pounds.
Right. But that 7, I was still, according to all medical records or scales, that's still morbidly obese, which I didn't like that classification. And I'm like, if I'm going to be leading these girls, I need to be leading by example.
Cool. Awesome. So you did the 5-day challenge and you lost several of those 7. And then what happened?
Well, then I gave you a call and I was pretty skeptical. It's an awful lot of investment, but when you realize that the rest of your life is an investment, it really wasn't that big of a deal. Talked to my husband about it, and things just happened to really play in, and he's pretty key. I wasn't going to do this without his blessing, and you did not high pressure or anything, so that was key number two. I mean, and you were even willing to talk to my husband, which was like awesome.
Well, here's my thing is that like I would never want somebody to work with me and not be excited about it, Like that would not be a good fit. But you and your husband were so cute with you guys just have the cutest relationship and your laughter and your banter back and forth. And I was so excited to, be able to spend time with you. So had you ever gone on a ketogenic diet before, or was this all new territory for you?
Well, I had actually almost a year previously. It was like I guess I choose the right wrong times of the year to do things. Um, Around November of 2018, I had seen a ketogenic diet on again Facebook, and said, "Hey, this looks good. This food looks good. I can do this." So my husband and I started together. It lasted about 2 months because he was dropping weight, eating 3 times the amount of food that I was eating. And he was just shedding, the weight was just falling off of him. And I was losing maybe 4 or 5 pounds. The difference between that diet and your diet definitely is coaching, but what you do through the coaching. So, which made it all the difference. And previous to that, I had done Atkins. And when I did Atkins, I had, unbeknownst to me at the time of when I started Atkins, within 2 weeks of starting Atkins, so to me, this is maybe a God thing, I was diagnosed with kidney cancer. Of course, it wasn't like immediate, but they knew something was afoot, and in the end, it was kidney cancer. And my urologist said, if you're going to continue doing what you're doing, I mean, he knew that from, all the tests that they ran, that I was doing something like Atkins. And he said, if you're going to continue, I'm not going to be your doctor. So that one went away like within 2 weeks of starting. And then I did Herbalife for a while, and was pretty successful, but not even close to what I've been with you. I was able to lose weight with Herbalife, not my body measurements. My non-scale victories weren't as grand as they are with your program.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so you've said a lot I want to kind of break down. So the first thing I want to touch on is the Atkins thing. So how was that different from what you've been doing lately?
That's quite a few years ago. We're talking like the year 2000 or right around there. But what I can remember was just eating lots of high protein, high fatty food. So, eating bacon and eggs and testing your ketones and those sorts of things. But different from you in that I've got a micro nutrient list that I'm shooting for and targeting for, and and balancing that. I get super excited when I actually make 100% on that, but
Well, it's just the quality of your cells and your health. So I always say that my program is a healthy keto program, more whole foods and really trying to boost the nutrients in it instead of like you just said. And the Atkins, from what I know, is more high protein, not so much high fat. Would you agree with that?
from what I can remember, I probably could agree with that. Like I said, I'm a little fuzzy, and it was only for about 2 weeks. So
Yeah, I think it is. That's why it's bad on your kidneys because too much protein is not good for your kidneys. And so that's what would make sense in my mind. So then how is this one different from the first keto you did a year ago?
Again, the one that I did a year ago, basically I was doing it, we were doing it on our own. So just got some, just we're eating things that, found some menus that had keto, that said they were keto. And what I've learned from you is that when I now look at those, I always look at things now like way differently. So I look at the recipes and go, I don't think Tracy would approve of this. It's like, how is this keto? It's got lots of extra carbs and stuff in there.
Oh, how funny. So now you've done the program. I don't know how long it's been, maybe 2.5 months ish or something like that. What benefits have you realized? How has your life changed?
Okay. So, I don't know if I can say this online. I thought about it yesterday as you were asking me a bunch of questions this week. What are my non-scale victories? And probably really truthfully and honestly, one of the really biggest ones that my doctor told me to work on anyway, was, it's like, okay, so you're old and it's like, so things change in your life. And it's like, never thought I'd be the person that would need a pad because I was leaking, and not menstrual. And so that's probably one of my biggest gains, that I can get through a workout and I'm not leaking. So
bladder control, right?
That's huge. Even amidst drinking up to a gallon of water a day.
I do. Cheers.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But also, like you told me so many, huh?
I said, it's funny you're drinking out of a mason jar. Mine was sitting here, but I think I left it outside when I moved inside.
I like it because I can put a whole liter in it, and I don't like sucking on a straw when I'm home.
Right.
Like the Hydro Flask is for when I'm gone, but the jar is for when I'm home.
Very good. Cool.
So yesterday you shared all these things, like pour out your heart, girl. So no more. So you now have bladder control and jump rope. Could just go riff off everything, because you were made me so excited yesterday.
Well, and then my really fun one, but you said not to talk about scale victories. But
oh no, you can talk about scale victories. Are you kidding? That's what everybody listens for.
So I'm down 37 pounds total. So I'm really happy with that. I still have 20 some more to go to make my ultimate goal, but I knew that wasn't going to happen in 90 days. And most people would say that that's not a good idea anyway, in 90 days. Not 90 days. In 90 days, they're like, that would be way too much weight to lose in 90 days. So, because I think it was, my goal is to be 150 pounds. Cool. That's my goal weight. So, oh my goodness. So pants and clothes are, looking extremely baggy. I mean, there's that. My husband won't let me buy anything new because he said, we'll just have to buy more. So I'm kind of wait to buy anything new, but it is fun to pull out some clothes out of the mothballs and wear them that haven't worn. So, let's see, other cool things. Waist size is down 7. I think I shared a picture with you that I took on the 5-day challenge. And then I took another photo yesterday, with the same outfit on, which was my scouting outfit. And so it was really cool. It's like, I loved it. You said I looked younger, which I was like, something is a little different. So, skin tone was different. Skin tone was huge. But the one I wanted you to notice was where the belt was. And so that was 7 inches of belt hanging off that I used to fill up. So that was really, really cool. And 5 inches off my hips. Walking. So when I first started walking, I was like at the beginning. So like I took my stats I did the same program that we asked the kids to do. And so I got my Scoutmaster book out and I wrote all of my stats down as far as, sit-ups, push-ups, and walking or running. I don't run, I walk. I blew out a knee once and I don't want to do that again. So walking. And so when I first started, my first time that I walked, it was almost a 20-minute mile. And so now I'm down around 16, 17 minutes.
Wow, that's 15% improvement. That's awesome.
And sometimes my husband doesn't walk the whole distance with me, but he's getting stronger too.
Cool. That actually, wait, that's a 20% difference, Audrey. That's fantastic. And tell him about the jump rope.
Oh, can totally out jump rope all of my students at my school.
That's fantastic.
So,
what do they think about that, those kids?
I don't know. One of the reasons what I like is some of them, not all of them. It's something that they can do. So that's the first thing. And so it challenges them to try to do and be more, which is part of my goal, is to be an example for my students and to be an example for my scouts, and to live that example. Not just say it, not just read it out of a book, but say, hey, look at this. We can do this.
Yeah, that's important, I think. That's cool. So besides just the food, well, first of all, how was the food on the program?
Oh, my goodness. So quote of the century from my husband, and I had thought the same thing, but he's been eating most of the things with me. And the one thing that we both agree on is the flavors. So it's like, if you go out to eat, it's like, who wants, in fact, we never ate at McDonald's to begin with, but who wants a plain old burger that you're going to get at a restaurant? Or who wants just about anything? I mean, we do have a couple of restaurants that serve up a really flavorful meal, but not, so we're not eating out hardly at all. Which is good, because then we got more money to spend on cool groceries like spices and things like that. But flavor, very, very flavorful, and that's the best thing. Yeah. I think my first favorite meal was some kind of a Korean rice bowl with, not rice, obviously, with cauliflower, and it was just absolutely to die for.
Oh, cool. That's good. I think my favorite is the peanut butter chicken. Have you had that one?
Yes. That's right up there with it. Gosh, I could probably go on and on. I mean, your cookbook is amazing. There's been a few things I haven't liked, but you've come back out and put a revision, like the lemon bars. And so that your revision on the lemon bars was way better than the first one. But so.
Oh my gosh, you've got to try those cupcake thingies that I made. I posted it in the VIP group. Those things in the cupcake tins?
Right.
Holy cow. I've made 2 batches already. And you top it with whipped cream, chocolate chips, and chopped walnuts. Oh my gosh. They are amazing. So those are really good.
I can't do that for another 2 days because I'm on this plateau buster.
Oh, I know. But you can in 2 days. Okay, so we talked about food and the meal plan. And then what did you like about the rest of the program? Because I believe that it's so much more than just, I'm going to give you this diet and here you go, good luck. There's so much more of a lifestyle thing. What things that we worked on did you find helpful for your growth?
I love the app, the Trainer Eyes, because it with the I'm very a visual person. I want to see it and do it, whatever activity with somebody to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. And so having the videos with the exercise programs was really cool. I'm pretty much a digital girl already. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. So having all of the different things talk to each other. So you've got, using MyFitnessPal. And this was the other thing too. A lot of the things that you asked me to do, I already had, but was not using effectively. Okay. And so you've taught me to use those things effectively, so that MyFitnessPal, logging my food, talks to my trainer eyes, which talks, and then there's the
nutrition.
Evolution,
the
nutrition. How that the fact that it gives you the recipe and the shopping list, I mean, it's like that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping that somehow, some way, we can actually get the tracking portion improved. Well, it's not my job, but like that company will improve the tracking thing. So like that we could either upload the recipes to MyFitnessPal, so you guys could just already have that as a library and track it that way.
That would be my desire. I try to put you in, and it's like, nah. So when I put stuff in, I now tag you in it.
I haven't seen that. I have to figure out how to do that. But I wish that I could just upload all my recipes somehow. I did have one idea to put them all on my blog, and then that way you just have the links to the blog, right, which then you can upload the recipe. But it just still seems so cumbersome. It's just easier just putting in one meal and just, putting in everything. Because typically we repeat what we eat, right? Like you're going to repeat it every few weeks or every couple weeks. So awesome. And then you said one other really funny story the other day to me about your son. Like what are people thinking when they see you?
Okay, so I haven't seen, we were on spring break last week, although it was a little weird with all the stuff that's going on nationally right now, internationally right now. So we went to Enid and saw both of our sons, and we went out to, they chose to go to the Chinese restaurant, not my fave, but so we did, but my youngest son runs up behind me. I didn't know he was there, and tosses me into the air, and then both of us dying laughing, and then he just kept saying all through dinner, he says, that shouldn't have been that easy. That shouldn't have been that easy. And then I showed the photo, my before and after photo that I had done that week, and he's like, dang, Mom. So
that is anyway. So fun. That is so fun.
We've been dance partners at that very moment. It was kind of funny.
You're so cute, Audrey. That's really cool. And so how do you feel?
I feel really good. And I feel good because I'm making my goals, meeting my goals, but I can do things that were laborsome before, whether that's walking up a flight of stairs or hiking up a hill, or, just stepping up on a really tall curb or something like that, or out walking with my scouts, at campouts and whatever. I'm not winded. Yeah. So feeling.
And it's just going to get better and better. That's for sure. Now, do you see yourself living this way? Like, is this your new lifestyle?
It has to be. I refuse to go back to where I was before.
Yeah.
And you have, one of the things that I hope your listeners will understand is that I live in rural Oklahoma. And so access to a lot of things that most people have, we don't have those readily available, or you really have to go out of your way to get to them, meaning, gyms or even, we have open spaces. Obviously I can walk down my country road, but, in big cities, you've got green spaces and places to go and parks to go to. And those places are not just right here, except for my backyard and my country road. My school is even much smaller than the school that I was teaching at in Enid. And so my physical activity decreased immensely when we moved to rural Panhandle, Oklahoma. Your program, though, showed me that I don't have to have those places to still be successful.
Because you wanted results and didn't make excuses.
There you go.
Right? And you can do it. I mean, anybody can do it. What advice would you give somebody like just starting out on this type of a journey?
It is worth the sacrifice to start. Okay. Mm-hmm. If it's important, you'll find a way to do it. And once you start, you'll be thankful and grateful that you did.
Yeah, that's true. Because my thing is that so many people live decades with illness when they don't have to. You know, I don't know if you know this, but my dad passed away from kidney cancer. And so cancer is one of the reasons why I am so committed to this lifestyle, because in 2030, the CDC has projected that half of our population is going to eat cancer, or not eat it, get cancer, or have cancer at that time. And most cancer feeds on glucose. And by eliminating that, I think we can help, decrease the occurrence of the disease. And to me, that's so, so important, and why I will never stop doing what I do.
And I'll further that and say, if I can impact the lives of my scouts and my students by promoting a healthy living, I think that our future is going to be brighter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're an awesome girl. I'm so happy for you and so proud of you. You're killing it. So thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story, Miss Audrey. You are remarkable.
Thank you for having me.
So if you weren't inspired by that show and by her results, then I don't know what else to tell you. Audrey is a lovely girl. She's a little bit nervous, but she has quite a story and quite a goal to really lead by example with the kids that she mentors. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Please head on over to iTunes. As always, leave us a rating and review if you haven't done so already. And if you have, thank you so much. If you know someone who'd be a great guest for the show, please feel free to email me at tracy@highenergygirl.com or send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. All right, you guys, make it a great day and be safe out there. Thanks for listening. This podcast contains the opinion and thoughts of its host and guests. It is intended to provide helpful and informative material on the subjects covered. All statements made on the podcast have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. If the listener requires professional assistance or advice, please contact your personal medical doctor. Both host and guest specifically disclaim any responsibility for any liability, loss, or risk, personal or otherwise, which is incurred as a consequence directly or indirectly of the use and application of any of the contents of these episodes. Like I said, this is my opinion and I could be wrong.